Hey guys, just out here hiking today. Nearly collapsed up on the mountain. So, um, it was tough work. But I'm here just to talk about betrayal. So I think in life you should never feel like you are betraying yourself. And you shouldn't have to compromise who you are either. You definitely should have a lot of value for yourself, respect for yourself, because a lot of the times, a lot of people will feel maybe their partner is unkind to them. They may feel that they're in a job that they feel, you might question, say, I'm not being valued here. Or maybe I feel an instinct inside that this is not meant to be my life. I'm meant to be doing something else. And that's a quest for finding your purpose. And it sometimes can be hard, but a good way to find out what your purpose is to find out what you don't want to do. That's the start. So but to go back to the betraying yourself is I guess it is going to cost your psyche. You're going to feel drained. It's normal to feel tired, but drained is more like an emotional drainage that you're going to feel when you do betray yourself. And people talk about, oh, this person betrayed me, and this other person, I'm never talking to them. But what's far worse thing to do is for you to betray yourself. That's a far worse thing than anyone else could ever do onto you. But other people talk about, well, sure, like, I'm in a relationship, I have to compromise and different things, and that's okay, like, give and take, and you're willing to do it out of love. That's fine, because when you do that out of love, you bend, you're flexible, and that, and you do it out of love. You don't feel drained. You don't feel that you're compromising who you are. You actually, sometimes when you do it out of a loving way, you feel enhanced. You feel good that you've helped them in that. But don't be scared, because what happens is when you're with someone, you're scared to just take the reins and take care of yourself. And don't be scared of that. Because betraying everything that's within your heart, that's who you are, it means you're going to be in a lot of pain and suffering. So I wish that's a gift I'll give you, that insight. But I do want to talk about, other things as well. I did talk about, the Chinese being very, having a lot of willpower, having a lot of perseverance, and also that resistance to what would you call it, the temptation, and never to quit. So I will probably talk about different nationalities and different things, what they're doing right. But in most nationalities, I would say most of them get things right. Some people get things wrong, so they do. And even like China, even though it prospers in that area, for a lot of years, 100 years, a few centuries ago, women were just a piece of property, and the husband could, kill the wife anytime he wanted to, so she was just a possession, and different things like that. And I think what's the best thing to do is, if a country can look at the good things and take them and make their own country really, really good, that's where you're going to take the good and not the bad. That's where a country will prosper. But women in general, a long story, still they are not getting on, they're not thriving, and that's something I'll probably talk about today. But the other thing I wanted to talk about, where was I going? Yeah, it's women in general. It's extremely important, I guess, to know the importance of women, and the value that they create in the world. some of the mystics talk about the masculine energy being very dominant in this world, and the feminine energy. The women are so, adaptable that the women now drink as much as men, and they cheat as much as men, and they're becoming very masculine in many ways. And it's the divine, the feminine energy, which is the nurturing and the loving and the giving energy that will, in the end of the day, will save the world. And I definitely, that's, you know, yeah, it's basically, I guess, until women realize deeply the involvement they have for opposing different things like violence and war, I don't think these things will ever end. It is tremendously important, and it's good to see women getting on in leadership and different things, but we are still not there yet in many countries. But they are very vital for the survival of the world, and for it to end up, women have to stand up and say enough is enough with, to men and stuff. And it's not about, bad mouthing men. It's just about being their equal to them. I do think, would you ever see a big gang of women going out to war? I don't think you would. Women would probably laugh at it, and say, I'm not going out to war. So eventually, women have to get into power and leadership and different things like that. Because when they did look at poverty, they found out that most poverty was caused by the dictatorship, the person that was in charge. The poverty was actually caused by that person completely drying the country, draining it from everything it had. Very sad, and it's really important someone very level-headed, runs a country, women or man. I know Plato said it should be a mystic, which I do believe is probably correct. They're normally for every man. Because what happens to a lot of people is they go into power and they say, well, I have two sons and I'll divide the country up between those two, when it should really be divided up between every man and woman in the country. So, it's sad to think that the ruler really has a massive impact on a country, and it's very important. I believe, like, if someone, I just sometimes laugh to myself and say I'm meant to vote for this person and I don't even know anything about them. It really is up to the media to, take account into that person's life in the last 10 years, to root up everything that they did, positive and negative, and let them speak about it. Because some people that go into power do publicity stunts. They say, oh, I'm working in the soup kitchens, in front of the TV, the channels and that, when they probably never worked there before in their lives. It doesn't come from their core, or they give money to charity just to look good. This is what is happening, and crooks do this all the time, and it's really important that the media go back and look at everything that they've done and make sure they are the right person. Because people, clever, conniving people that go into power will paint a perfect picture of who they are, when it's not really who they are from the core. So that's something I just wanted to talk to you today about, and I think that's it really for today. It's just the potential of the women, if they have the courage to stand up, they will definitely change the world. I definitely believe that. Because I know myself, being a woman, I know that a woman is very nurturing and very caring, and she does things a little bit different. And if I had sons, I know I would. That's another thing. The mother of is the key as well. The mother that brings up the sons will bring up good men. No good men will prosper if the mother doesn't bring them up properly. So that's another one I really look out for, is to promote women, to bring up good men. I know if I had kids, I would be definitely having a few talks with them about how relationships work, and how to treat women and different things like that. Other than that, I think that's all I'll talk to you today about. And Yeah, I was going to mention other things, but I'll leave it for today, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, take care. Bye.